If you're looking for a superior clean and a gentle toothbrushing experience without any pain, the Ranvoo AirJet 2 Sonic electric toothbrush is worth checking out. It has a unique jet nozzle in the brush head that delivers tons of microbubbles through the bottom air intake, then into a triple pump system in the handle. Then the jet nozzle where the microbubbles actually clean your tooth surface and even in between your teeth and at the gum line where most toothbrush bristles cannot reach properly. There's up to 60 days of battery life and IPX7 rating, touchscreen controls, 4 brushing modes, and a magnetic charging base. Now that sounds good on paper, but how well does it actually clean? Well, as a former dental professional, let me share my thoughts with you, and a big thanks to Ranvoo for setting this up for review. In the box, we have the Ranvoo AirJet 2 Sonic electric toothbrush, a metallic charging base or stand, USB-A to Type-C charging cable, 3 different styles of brush head, and an actual printed paper manual. Let's look at the design of the Ranvoo AirJet 2 electric toothbrush. So first I'll remove this protective cover from the connecting shaft or stem. And if we take a top-down view, you could see that this is actually hollow, and that's because this is exactly where those micro bubbles are gonna come from. There's 3 different brush heads, but I'm gonna start with the Balance Multi-Effect brush head, and you can see even the design of the brush head is very unique. So we have this clear see-through area, and we also have the same type of cutout at the bottom here to interface with the shaft down there. Attaching the toothbrush head is easy, so you just slide it down, and the clearance should be about 0.5 to 1 millimeter. The toothbrush with the brush head comes in at around 150 grams, and I have the silver or gray color, but it also comes in white, blue, and purple. Now in terms of the base or kind of the grip here, so this actually feels really good in the hand. It's not too thick, not too wide, considering all of the technology going on in here. There's no buttons on the AirJet 2. Everything is controlled via this touchscreen button. So you may or may not like that, but the one good thing is we're gonna have much less bacterial buildup around buttons. The brush head is made of 0.1 millimeter DuPont nano bristles. Now these are also tapered, and it's also angulated for proper clean for tooth surface and at the gum line. The bottom of the toothbrush has an air intake, so this is actually going to deliver air then into a triple pump system in the handle before it's ultimately delivered through the brush head through the AirJet nozzle in the form of micro bubbles. The rear of the toothbrush is magnetic, and this is going to connect to the magnetic charging base. The magnetic charging base is fairly lightweight, coming in at 40 grams, so we have 2 little arms that the toothbrush is going to rest on. And if we take a back view, so we actually have a separate area, so this is what is going to actually attach to a wall or some other surface. There's pre-applied 3M tape, so you would just remove the 3M tape, attach this to a wall or whatever surface, and then this will magnetically snap into place just like so. Now on the other side, this is where we have the USB-C port to supply power to the magnetic base. So once a base is attached to a wall, you just put the toothbrush, the arms are holding it in, and it's magnetically attached. The included charging cable is a little bit on the shorter end, so if this cannot reach a power plug, what you can do is you can actually detach the magnetic base from the magnetic mount, and then you can actually have the toothbrush laying flat like that, and then you could plug in this cable closer to a wall socket, or you can use a longer cable. Due to the air intake, you don't want to leave the toothbrush like this because then liquid would just accumulate at the bottom here, so you will want to use the charging base every time you're done using it. You can also put the toothbrush perfectly flat like this. It's going to keep this unobstructed, and there's no wobble or rocking at all. Here's a quick look at the specs. Feel free to pause and review or jump ahead to the next section. To power on the toothbrush, you're going to press on the screen. It's going to start in one of the modes, and then you could just keep pressing to cycle through the various modes. Now there's a 2-minute timer, but if you want to stop earlier than that, you could just press the screen again to stop. So you can see the amount of air coming out of the AirJet nozzle. I could easily just go ahead and displace all of these tea leaves. Like, the power out of this is no joke. Take a look at just how well the AirJet 2 displaces water and just pushes everything around. This is what it's going to be doing inside your mouth, in between your teeth, and around the gum line. And this is something that rotating, oscillating toothbrushes just cannot do. I want to talk a little bit about the cleaning mechanism of the Ranvoo AirJet 2, since that's kind of the claim to fame. So when you think of toothbrushes, it's normally in 2 categories: manual toothbrushes or electric toothbrushes. With manual toothbrushes, you're powering the toothbrush with your own hands, so as long as you use the correct toothbrushing technique, you can properly clean your teeth as long as you floss at the same time. But most people don't know how to use the correct brushing technique, or they use toothbrushes with, hard bristles, or they just use aggressive brushing motions, which damages their teeth and gums. Next are electric toothbrushes, where the toothbrush is doing most of the work with a motor inside, and these can be broken down into either sonic toothbrushes like this one, or rotating oscillating toothbrushes like something like an Oral-B or a Braun toothbrush. With the oscillating rotating toothbrushes, the brush head will actually move back and forth or rotate in place, or maybe even swivel by a little bit. The cleaning mechanism of these toothbrushes is to actually clean the surface that the toothbrush head makes contact with. So as long as the toothbrush head is touching your teeth or gums, it'll clean it. But what about in between your teeth, where the toothbrush bristles are not long enough to physically go into? So they will struggle to give you a complete clean unless you pair them with flossing as well, because flossing reaches in between teeth. Next, we have sonic toothbrushes, which are my favorite type of toothbrush, and I've been using exclusively sonic toothbrushes for the last 12 or 13 years. The way sonic toothbrushes work is that the brush head will vibrate at such a high frequency that it actually generates sonic waves, and these waves can actually travel in between teeth to break down plaque or disrupt plaque where the bristles cannot physically reach. So not only does the sonic toothbrush clean everything that the brush head makes contact with, like your teeth or gums, it actually generates sonic waves to travel in between teeth, so it actually has two cleaning mechanisms. Some of these sonic toothbrushes can generate from 30,000 to 40,000 sweeps per minute, and it's something that people find weird the first time they put a sonic toothbrush in their mouth, and it can feel a little bit aggressive when it's vibrating at that intensity. Now let's talk about the cleaning mechanism of the Ranvoo AirJet 2 Sonic toothbrush. So this is also a sonic toothbrush, but what makes this unique is that we actually have an air intake at the bottom of the toothbrush that will suck up air and then bring it into a triple pump system into the handle. Then it'll just push it out through the shaft here, which has an opening on top, into the brush head, which is also hollow, and then through this jet nozzle in the middle. So not only is it generating sonic waves similar to a sonic toothbrush, on top of that, we also have this steady stream of microbubbles being pushed out in between teeth or interdentally to help break down plaque or clear it away. So where traditional sonic toothbrushes would kind of passively move around whatever liquid is in your mouth, if you put water to brush, if it's your own saliva, if it's toothpaste mixed with that, this is more actively pushing those liquids that are in your mouth by using the air intake into a triple pump system and then delivering it through the jet nozzle in the form of microbubbles. Now let's talk about the toothbrushing experience. So I mentioned that other sonic toothbrushes would generate from 30,000 to 40,000 sweeps per minute. Now the AirJet 2 generates around 22,000 sweeps per minute. Now that may sound worse, that it's not as powerful, but that's actually by design. So the approach with the AirJet 2 was to combine the lower sweeps per minute along with the micro bubbles to give just as efficient of a clean without any type of discomfort, pain, bleeding, or damage to the gums. When I first brushed with it, I could definitely tell that the vibration intensity was not like my other sonic toothbrushes, so I did kind of question how effective it would clean. The other thing to note is that with a lot of sonic toothbrushes, the brush head is solid, but with this we actually have a gap in the middle where the AirJet nozzle is. So that means we actually have less bristles to make contact with the tooth surface, since there's no bristles in the middle of the toothbrush head. However, that in no way affected the cleaning efficacy of this toothbrush, because after I ran my tongue along my teeth, everything was squeaky clean. It's also far more comfortable of a brushing experience since it's not vibrating at that intensity. The other thing is that even though I showed how powerful the air coming out of here was, where I could kind of move around, kind of tea leaves on my table, when I'm actually brushing, since there's liquid that's being pushed, not air, I'm not feeling as much of that kind of pressure from the air being pushed. I really don't notice it at all, but I definitely know it's doing the job because it's generating bubbles, and sometimes those flow a little out of my mouth. So the AirJet 2 Sonic toothbrush can clean your teeth just as effective as any other type of sonic toothbrush, but it does it in a more gentle and comfortable way. So can you actually benefit from using the AirJet 2 Sonic toothbrush? Well, ask yourself this: do you floss? And if you do, how often do you floss? Because you're supposed to floss a minimum of once a day. And if you're someone who doesn't like to floss, well, this is a good kind of backup option. There is no replacement for flossing, but because this can clean in between teeth or interdentally, it's the next best thing if you're not going to floss or if you floss infrequently. If you're experiencing pain, bleeding, sore gums, or shrinking gums with your current electric toothbrush, then this is also going to be a better option since it's a gentler cleaning approach. So if you're looking for a toothbrushing experience that's comfortable on your teeth and gums without compromising on the cleaning efficacy, privacy, the Ranvoo AirJet 2 Sonic electric toothbrush is worth checking out. So if you know that you're not flossing regularly, if you found Sonic toothbrushes to be too intense before, if you've damaged your teeth and gums from aggressive brushing, I think you'll like the Ranvoo AirJet 2 electric toothbrush. So if you're interested in picking up the AirJet 2 Sonic toothbrush, I'll leave links down below along with any type of coupon or discount codes if I have them in the video description and pinned comments. If you like this video, maybe consider checking out this video next, and maybe also consider liking and subscribing. I plan on making more of these types of videos, and while you're at it, maybe consider checking out some of my other tech reviews outside of toothbrushes. I also review headphones, earbuds, monitors, mice, laptops, keyboards, really something for everyone, and I really hope you'll join me in my next video soon.